So Ibn Taymiyyah had this notion that if you travel with the intention of visiting a grave, then this is a bid'ah. It is not allowed. Your safar, your travel is haram. You are not allowed to take by any of the rukhas, any of the dispensations that are given to a musafir. So for example, I'm talking as a Shafi'i, I don't know how the Hanafi madhab works, but if you're traveling a long distance, you're allowed to combine between the prayers, you're allowed to shorten your prayers, you're allowed to make masah on the khuf for 3 consecutive days and nights. All of these rukhas are given to you if you're traveling, provided your travel is not for a haram reason. He said, because you're traveling here to visit a grave, this is a haram travel, you're not even given any rukhas. They said to him, even to travel to the grave of Rasulullah ﷺ, he said, yes. If you travel to the grave of Rasulullah ﷺ with the intention, the primary intention of visiting him, he considers this as a haram act, as a bid'ah waliyadu billah. The scholars refuted him. They said, what's your justification for this? He said, you know, لا تشد الرحال إلا إلى ثلاث. That you cannot travel except to visit 3 holy sites. The Masjid al-Haram, the Masjid al-Nabawi, the Masjid al-Aqsa. The scholars, they said, you've got the interpretation of this hadith wrong. Here the Prophet ﷺ is not limiting your travel to these masajid. He's saying that if you are after reward for traveling to visit a masjid, all the masajid of Allah are equal in reward except for these 3. So if I, for example, now we've traveled from Birmingham to Manchester. If I made an intention that I am traveling to receive extra reward in this masjid, then the masjid that I was at, then this is a wrong intention to have, because all of the masajid are equal in reward. The exception to the rule are these 3 masajid. So if you want to travel with the intention of receiving extra reward, you've got those 3 masajid ahead of you. You can go to Masjid al-Haram, 100,000, Masjid al-Nabawi, 1,000, Masjid al-Quds, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free it from the hands of the occupying Zionists.
In Gaza's camps, the cold is a constant companion. For the children, it's a battle for survival every single night.
You get 500 times 500 a prayer. So they said you got the interpretation of the hadith wrong, first of all. Second of all, you're going against the consensus of the 4 madhahib. The 4 madhahib, the mu'tamad opinion of the 4 madhahib is that you are allowed, you are permitted to travel to visit the graves of the salihin and the awliya and the anbiya, and at the top of the list to travel and visit the grave of Rasulullah ﷺ. He said, what is your justification? The scholars, they said there's a number of hadith, numerous ahadith, whereby the Prophet ﷺ says, من زارني وجبت له شفاعتي. In other narrations, من حج ولم يزرني فقد جفاني. He said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you travel to visit me, then I will be your shafi' on the day of judgment. In other narrations, he said, whoever performs hajj and does not come and visit me, then فقد جفاني, يعني he has shown me lack of concern, or he has not given me the due attention that I am that's due to me. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said what? He said all of these ahadith are fabricated. He claimed that all of these ahadith are fabricated. So the muhaddithin, the likes of Imam al-Suki and others, replied to his allegations. And he said, no, these ahadith, first of all, it's not one hadith, it's a number of ahadith. All up, from memory, they more than 10 ahadith speaking about the same subject. Some of them are hasan, others are weak but are strengthened because of the multitude of narrations. So they are either hasan li dhati or hasan li ghayrihi. So they refuted him on that point. That ziyarah of the qubur is sought after. How is it sought after? Because of the narration of Rasulullah ﷺ. He said, كنت قد نهيتكم عن زيارة القبور ألا فزوروها فإنها تذكركم الآخرة. He says sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I had forbidden you from visiting the graves, but now go and visit it. But now go and visit it, for indeed it reminds you of the hereafter. This lafaz is am. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, this statement of his is universal in meaning. He didn't say that you're not allowed to travel to visit. He made it general. Whether you're traveling, whether you're at home, whatever it may be, you're allowed to travel to visit the graves. And like I said, at the top of the list is the graves of the salihin, the awliya, and the grave of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. So they refuted the Wahhabiyah on this point. Ziyaratul Qubur is a sought after sunnah from the time of the Salaf down.